Okay guys, so we're on our way for lunch and we have no idea what to get. This morning was absolutely chocker with client meetings at the agency. There's loads going on. Phoebe was editing last week's video. That van's absolutely hesitant. Did you see the front of that? But yeah, what do we get? What do you fancy? I need good fuels for this challenge. Okay, so we've just had KFC, had a KFC salad, and if you've never had one, you need to get to know because they are absolutely banging. Not only that, closed my first deal of the day, went to KFC, ordered a salad. They didn't have any salad, only had burger lettuce. So I was like, yeah, that's a shout as long as I get a free cookie. He was like, fine, got a free cookie, closed the deal. Iceberg, whatever, lettuce, absolute belter. Highly recommend to anyone. KFC salad. So we're now on our way back to the office. I've got 25 DMs to send. I've got responses to make. I'm going to do a mixture of voice notes and obviously just normal DMs. And what else is on the cards? We'll see. So we're back in the office and I've had to write a list because I don't know if you guys remember, but when I said that I set up this agency in the beginning, I did totally wing it. So when we've come to actually do this challenge, I've sat here and gone, right, how do I film this in a structure? Like, how do I actually let you know what's going on in this big brain fart that we've got going on at the moment? So we've done a list. So today is a busy day. We're going to be recruiting. For new team members. So we're going to look on Indeed, Fiverr, people per hour, and we're also going to use my personal brand. And I'm going to put some stories out there to see if we can get any connections. That's a way of showing you guys the power of building your personal brand, because if people know what you do, you'll constantly get people that are interested in working with you. So we're going to obviously recruit today. We're looking for social media managers, people that specialise in Google ads, people that also specialise in Facebook ads, and we're also looking for content creators. Now our content creators need to be confident, bubbly, all different ages, because we really want to test different ages across different creatives. The next thing that we've got is send 3 proposals out from responses that we had last week. Last week was actually really good. We had loads of responses and really quick as well. Usually I expect about a 24 to 48 hour response rate, but the way we did it was kind of as though we were interested, as though I was interested in booking their services, and that got me out of the DMs quicker than if I was just obviously pitch my services to them. So today we're also going to send out 25 new DMs and also get meetings booked with the responses that I haven't responded to just yet. So I know I've got a list, but I am going to work backwards and inside out because that's just how my crazy brain works. So to begin the afternoon, we're literally going to send out 25 new DMs now, so that when it comes to the end of the day, I can review and see what responses we've got, and then I can get back to everyone at once. Okay, so I've just sent out 25 DMs. It took us about 45 minutes to get them all out. Took me, I'll get used to it one day. To get all them DMs out, we've stuck to homeware niche, we've got rattan furniture and shutter companies as well. So let's see what happens. Let's see how long it takes to get some responses back. I've also got back to the other companies that I needed to get back to and to arrange some meetings to get them booked in. Now we're gonna head over to the computer, and we're gonna send out 3 proposal responses for last week. Okay, so in the middle of obviously doing all this outreach, I've just had a message from Shaz, shout out Shaz, absolute bestie, who's just referred a new potential client over to us. So that is very exciting. But yeah, back to it. Okay guys, I've just sat down now to put together 3 proposals for 3 new potential clients. Now we've got a shutters and blinds company, a bathroom company, and also a garden furniture company. And best of all of these clients are social media management clients, which means I can potentially do the work myself. But what I am going to do today is I am going to try and outsource a social media manager to begin with, freelance obviously, and I'm also going to try and find someone that specialises in Google ads. And after that, I'm then going to show you guys how to offer free audits, offer free social media audits, and say Google ad account audits, because these are great ways to kind of prove your credibility by using a freelancer to obviously use their knowledge to back your agency up. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to use NDAs, how to offer these audits, and how to really use freelancers' work to just make your agency fly. Okay, so that has taken me approximately 36 minutes now, so let's say 12 minutes of proposal, to stick together something that is bespoke to that client. So not only have I created social media feeds that are bespoke, I like to personally put my proposals together in the same colour scheme and fonts as the brand that I'm sending it over to. I just feel that when they then receive it, they recognise it straight away, they know it's their branding, and I think it adds that extra kind of like oomph. So you'll always find that I'll always stick their logos on the front of the proposal as well. It just shows that you've done your extra research, you've used your initiative, and I'm not joking, it takes about 2 seconds to do, especially with Canva, because Canva, obviously you can do that, what's it called, that colour picker? Colour picker? Colour picker. Do colour picker, literally screenshot their website, stick it onto a Canva document, and then colour pick all their branding. Okay guys, so I've just finished putting together these proposals. Now they took me about 12 to 15 minutes per proposal, and what I did was I made them really bespoke to the client. So when it comes to me creating proposals, I always like to make sure that the proposals are in the colour scheme of the client themselves. Yes, as an agency, I would have my own branding and my own guidelines and my own logo. But when it comes to these proposals, I like to stand out and I like to leave a lasting impression. And besides the branding and the colour schemes and all that, I like to put together social media templates as well to show the client exactly what I can do for them. What I find is when you've got zero credibility in a specific niche, clients always say, can you send me over some case studies? Can you show me what you've done before? And I like to combat that by saying, yes, I can send you over some numbers, but they will come across as numbers with no context on a screen. So instead, I'm going to show you exactly what I can do for you. So when it comes to social media, I've put together for a bathroom company some example templates. The next step is to obviously put this into a grid feed, but I've basically used their images. I've got a customer review that I found on Trustpilot, which again will show them that I've done my due diligence. I've also done my research to find out more about their company. Then I've moved on to our shutters client, and this shutters client, they really wanted to be able to express themselves, but they wanted to do it in a creative way. Now I've really recommended that they introduce a face to their feed, which means we can then upsell our content creation services as well as our social media management services. So when you look at this feed, you'll see it's very bright, it's very airy, which is kind of what they were going for, but it's very difficult to obviously show that this would be a reel, this would be a carousel. Yes, you can add like a little toggle in the corner on Canva, but besides that, I've just tried to keep it as creative as possible so they know exactly what I would create for them. And then lastly, I've put together a garden furniture company. Now this client I really enjoyed speaking with. They were very specific in terms of what they wanted. They really wanted to get creative with their stories and the content that they're putting out there, but they weren't really sure on the vision that they wanted, but they knew that they liked the idea of incorporating different concepts in terms of like mobile phones on story graphics. So I've gone away and I've created 3 example story graphics. They wanted it to be really homely, and I've also then put together a feed example, which is, again, is something they wanted me to do. They wanted to somehow promote the daytime and the evening to show how their products can be used in both. So as you can imagine, a rattan furniture set might be able to be used in the evening with the fire and get all cozy. So I've basically gone through their images. Again, I literally went on their tagged photos. It didn't take me any time at all. I've used templates from Canva, and again, I already know that they'll be more impressed because they can see that I've used their colour scheme, and I've also incorporated what they told me on the phone and put that into the proposal, which means you will leave a lasting impression when they open these. Okay, so today I've sectioned out 3 hours for today. So we're going to send out again 25 DMs, respond to our existing DMs. We've actually had quite a few response rates, which is really good. I think I've got 9 in the DMs, so the ratio over the past 2 days has been really good. Well, also, so now this proves how good it is when you use a freelancer website. So I have only had, I think I've had 6 people that have responded on Instagram, and 3 were referrals, and 3 people already followed me to jump on a call. So I am going to have some calls booked in with them. But I've got 3 meetings booked in today with potential new team members, 1 from People Per Hour and 2 from Fiverr. So that just shows you how quick people ask, because it's literally been less than 24 hours and I've got meetings with potential new team members. And after that, we're also going to go over their case studies and references. I'm going to see if I can use them, if I can use their case studies. And I'm also going to see if they can offer some free social media audits and also some free account management audits. So for existing Google Ad accounts, I'm going to see if they'll actually offer that client a free audit to see if we can then bag that client together. At the end of the day, it works on a 50-50 basis. So for example, if I was to bag that client, they're going to get a new client as well. And then lastly, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use ChatGPT to obviously write NDAs with freelancers, just to make sure that they don't rob all of your hard work. Anyway, these are just some examples of people that have commented. So we've got, someone said, I'm a content creator. Someone said, I'm a social media manager, although I'm new to the game, but always looking for experience. Got another one that said, content creator stuff, speaking on camera, I am always down, please count me in. I've had a food blogger that said, hey, I'm interested in this. Garden furniture, okay, fair enough. Happy to help if you need someone to speak on camera, no worries if not. What's the project? I could really help with meta ads.
I am a TikTok guru, is this something that you're looking for? So they're just a few examples of what people have said. Now that is literally from just putting a story up on my social media, and I can create real relationships with these people now. So not only have I met these people now and built up that little bit of a connection, I can now network with these people as well, which means they could potentially refer clients over to me and I can refer clients over to them as well. Okay, so I've just sent out 25 DMs and I've gotten back to my previous DMs as well, and I can thankfully say we've got 2 new meetings booked on Friday, and I am so grateful, I'm so excited, and let's just hope that we close them. And we might be able to let you guys know as well that I think we've closed 2 new clients, obviously since starting this challenge, but hoping that the paperwork all comes through today, closes today. But I am about to leave you now because I've got a meeting with one of my first social media managers from Fiverr. Guys, unreal. Genuinely unreal. Do you know what? The amount of meetings that I usually have with people, some can be awful, where you get no vibe at all, where you're speaking to some people that are just like, but I always find when you speak to a social media manager, they always have like a really good personality anyway. So I judge, sounds awful, but I do judge a social media manager based on their personality, because they have so much to do with the client, that you want the client to have a similar experience of what they've had with me, for example. But when it comes to say like Google ads, Facebook ads, anything technical, that's when it gets a little bit different, because I always find that, don't get me wrong, James, Lloyd, our ads guys are brilliant and they're so out there, they're so happy. But I have found in past experience that people that deal with numbers don't usually like to speak to people, and that's totally fine. So you'd never be put off by someone's vibe if you think that they're maybe less like people driven. It is just obviously their personality. But when it comes to social media managers, I want someone that's a little bit out there, someone that I can obviously trust to just handle that client, be confident when approaching people, be confident with ideas, and she was the one. She's also agreed to send me over more case studies that I can use. She said that we can use her references as well, obviously based from her previous work that she's done. She's not got NDAs with 4 clients, which means we can use that work as well through the agency, which is brilliant. So I really hope that's going to help us close some future clients. So now I'm going to take you on to show you exactly how we're going to write an NDA with ChatGPT, because my next step is to send her over an NDA before she obviously does any social media audits, which is the next step. Before she does anything to do with the client, before I disclose any client information, I'm going to get this NDA signed and send it over on PandaDoc so that she can e-sign that and get it back to me straight away. So when it comes to using ChatGPT to write an NDA, always remember that this isn't written by an actual lawyer. I personally use this as a foundation. I then go through it and alternate it as I wish. I do have a law degree, but when it comes to writing contracts, I personally don't have a clue. But that's not the point. As long as you've got something in signing, basically use this as a foundation, fill it out, change it as you need to, and then literally stick it into PandaDoc. If you want a free e-sign, I think DocuSign is also an alternative, and I think they allow you to have a certain amount for free in the beginning. I personally use PandaDoc, but again, they both work in the same way. And then when it also comes to payment processes, if you're stuck with that, I would probably recommend using Stripe or Go Cardless. Another thing when it comes to hiring freelancers, I personally like to look for people that do have experience and don't have experience. I find that the ones that are willing to learn always give so much more as well. The ones that have been in the game a long time, they are very picky when it comes to pricing. They do value their time, which is amazing, and I'm not saying don't work with people that don't value their time, but working with people that are new to the industry and new to the space that do want to learn are always willing to go that extra mile for you, especially if you're willing to give them more work, because they will then stay committed to you and loyal to you as well. Okay, so the news is out. We have finally closed a client. It is a social media strategy, which means it's a one-off payment. Now, this isn't something that I usually offer at my other agency. I do prefer to obviously have retainers and things because it allows you to obviously build that connection with the client, but we have closed a social media strategy, which means my freelancer that I was speaking to before is going to have some work instantly. Now, we have agreed that she's going to do a 50% upfront payment, and then I'm also going to pay the other 50% at the end of the social media strategy once the client is happy with the work. So the client has also agreed to pay upfront. We do take all of our payments upfront for all of our services before we start any work, because that's just how we like to do it at the agency. So I'm just about to send over the NDA to her now, and then she's going to go in and do a little bit of an audit. Right guys, so that is the NDA sent over. If all goes well and I get this back tonight, then the work can commence from tomorrow. I always like to give clients a 24-hour to 48-hour kind of like starting period, which basically means that we can make sure that we've got access to everything before we get started. Obviously, the busier we get, that's when we start to kind of have like a longer period of time to start to strategize and things. But from when it comes to my business, I like to make sure that everyone is moving quickly and that the clients are never pushed to the back end of anything. If it means I need to scale my team bigger to provide a better experience, then that is exactly what I do. But on that note, that is enough for today. We've had a great day, we've closed the client, I've got a new girl on board, and honestly, I am made up with the process, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so today we are off to a shoot. It's a very last minute shoot. And you know what, I'm really excited. Today's actually with a client which we had when I first launched the agency. So in the first 6 months we closed them. And this was about 2 years ago now, and we are actually going back to shoot with them today. Phoebe's never met them and they are such a gorgeous client. They messaged me on the Monday, wanted to get the shoot booked in, and here we are the same week, getting it done in the middle of the challenge. But I go away on Monday for 10 days, so I wanted to make sure that we could obviously get there and get it done. So I'm excited to introduce Phoebes. We've just finished a shoot.
Yeah.
So today is day, I'm not even sure of the challenge, it's been a whirlwind, but we've just finished a shoot which was a last minute shoot that got booked in 2 days ago. So today was meant to be outreach, it was meant to be, what was it today? Outreach and hiring process as well.
Yeah.
That's been pushed to tomorrow because these things happen and I can't fit it all in at once, but I've got the track to bend Phoebe.
Didn't realise it was Benton Road.
So anyway, we just finished a shoot. It was in Broughton Store, which is about an hour and a half away from the office. We're now on our way back.
Yeah.
It's 6:35 p.m.
Long ass day.
Long ass day. So tomorrow is another long ass day because we are getting on the hiring process. I might do a little bit tonight as well, just so we get the ball rolling to show you guys exactly how to do that tomorrow.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm away next week, so it's gonna be difficult to show you guys how to keep up with the challenge, but we'll figure it out.
Hi guys.
I'm about to take Phoebe to where I'm getting married.
Yeah.
And also where I'm going to live.
Okay.
Yes.
It's the Mia.
No, that's a hotel. But it's in Mia.
It's in Mia.
I'm so excited!
I think there's a big pond.
I'm just not getting married in Cotswold the house either, so
I'll show you in a minute. Boom.
my dream house.
Wait, where's your hand? I'm zoomed in. Wait, up. Level up. You stay still.
You will die when you see this. And you'll go, I need to do walk rounds of these bad boys. No one is knocking up.
It's a lovely little bungalow. Needs knocking down.
That's nice.
That's nice.
A little bit of me.
A little bit of me.
Hey Abby, hope you're good and enjoying some of the sun that we're getting today. I filled in the briefing document and the service and agreement and sent you a follow-up email. Oh, and happy Thursday! Bish bash bosh. So guys, we have just closed another client whilst we're in the homeware industry It was actually a referral, so it was an energy referral from the event that we went to the other day, and it's for Google Ads as well. So I've got an amazing guy called James who's basically going to be going in and doing a free audit for the client as well, and we can actually get the ball rolling. But the client actually agreed to move forward. We've sent the service and agreement over and the NDA because they want to be in an NDA with us, which is fine, and then James can obviously go ahead and do the audit. James is also a freelancer that I found on people per hour, and his reviews were really good when it came to lead gen, so I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Right, we've got loads to do today. The new gym law stocks come as well, which I absolutely love. There, gorgeous. And I've had my nails done, but we're gonna go and send out 25 new DMs. Okay, so I've just sent off everything I needed to. I've sent off my 25 DMs. It's taken me longer than expected because some agency bits have popped up in the middle. Today is the day that I have to pay out all of our freelancers and make sure all the bills are paid. And I hate Thursdays. No, I'm joking, I love Thursdays. But yeah, got all that done, and now I don't even know what time it is, guys. What time is it? It's 4:10. I've got 50 minutes to basically give you guys some value, because I feel like at the moment there's lots of things going out, but I'd like to be able to provide you guys with a lot more. Okay, so something I really want to cover is something that I get asked a lot. So this all comes down to how to invoice a client, minimum terms. Everyone's always asking me, like, how long should you obviously get into contract with someone? Our periods are usually 3 to 6 months, depending on the client and depending on the workload. Say if someone comes to us literally and they are from the ground up, I prefer to actually sign a 6-month contract because it's going to take longer to build them. And when it comes to 3 months, I feel like it takes about 3 months for you to get an understanding of any brand anyway. And I always like to set them expectations when you sign with any client. So for example, if you get a client that's like, okay, within 4 weeks, I really want to get the ball rolling, I want to smash it. Let's be honest. The first 4 weeks, you're getting to know the brand, you're getting to have an understanding about how the brand works, you're both trying to learn each other, you're also trying to learn the brand messaging. Like, there's so much that goes on in that initial period, it's crazy. So for example, I signed a client for our normal agency, Aventus, on Google Ads. The first 2 weeks, that was the onboarding stage, that was setting up the ads, setting up the strategy, and then they messaged me and said, the next payment's come out, but the ads have only been running for 2 weeks. Well, yes, because you go through an onboarding phase in the beginning. That might have been a fault on my behalf, basically not setting them expectations, or I might have set, I'm assuming it's always me, I'm always right, but I'm joking. You just want to make sure that you set them expectations in the beginning with the client so that there's no like back and forth, there's no people questioning whether what was for free, what's paid. Set them expectations. So you want to at least aim for a 3-month contract, 3 to 6 months. If you're going to agree to a rolling in the beginning, that's fine, but then after that rolling period, maybe try and get onto something. Maybe say to them, offer them a trial period of 4 weeks, and then say, if you're happy after these 4 weeks, then can we look at signing a 3-month contract. Also, when it comes to invoicing a client, I always invoice at the very start, so I don't invoice at the end. In my eyes, that's more like an employee mentality. So I invoice at the beginning, so we take that payment first. I always find that if you invoice at the end of the month, you're then chasing them to pay, and you're literally waiting like 6 to 8 weeks for them invoices to come through, as opposed to just getting paid straight away. And then it makes the onboarding period a lot easier, and it also means that when you outsource out to staff or to freelancers, you can keep all your books in one place, and it's just so much more organised. But also, when it comes to onboarding a client, I send over my invoice, I send over a service and agreement, which is a fancy word for contract, and I also send over a client briefing document. They are the 3 documents that I send over before starting any work, and I make sure that I've got all that back in before I begin anything. If you want to really cut corners, I would say send over the service and agreement, send over the invoice. Once you've got that back, then send over that client briefing document. Because I always find that when you send over the client briefing first, it takes the client so long, they end up sending that back first. You then have to chase again for the contract, you then have to chase again for the invoice. So switch it up in different ways and see what works for you. Guys, today is Friday. I go on holiday for 10 days on Monday, and this is something which is also reality. Since setting up this agency, I'm not going to say I've not had a day off, but I have probably had 1 day off in total. That is personally by choice. I'm not saying that when you set up an agency you need to work every single day, because that's not good for anyone. But last year I went to Marbella on the Friday, and I got back on the Tuesday, and the Monday was bank holiday, so that didn't really count. But this is my first time actually going away for 10 days. No, I won't be off for 10 days, but I'll be working somewhere else with a crazy time zone difference, and I'm just gonna figure out as it goes, because at the end of the day, as I said, I'll still be working. But today is really up the wall, so I'm gonna make sure to get 25 DMs out. I'm gonna make sure to respond to everyone, make sure I'm consistent, because I'm not gonna let that drop. But I will not have time to sit there and go through everything today. But what I do have time to do is go through these drawers and see exactly what I can take. So I'm going to be taking on holiday my Coddle sleep mask. This is not a paid ad, this is one of my clients though, and they're absolutely smashing it. But best believe you're going to see me on the plane like this, having a great time. I need to get a snorkel and some goggles.
Sports Direct.
I'm going to have to. So literally, when I tell you I've not had time to sort this holiday out at all, I haven't got anything. I've got no travel plugs. So it's Friday today, tomorrow I'm in Birmingham for the property event. Sunday I'm coming back from Birmingham. I still need to pack, and yeah. But we'll figure it out. It's gonna be a great time. Actually, Phoebe said I've not given you enough value, which I agree I haven't, because it's Friday and we're busy, but I'm back at the desk. And something I did want to run over is another service that we're going to offer. So content creation, we've obviously got like content creators, social media management and paid ads. But because a lot of people don't have the budget for content creators, we're going to offer them basically a service of faceless content ideas. So for example, if the client doesn't want to pay someone else to create content for them, they can actually create it themselves without attaching their face to the brand. So what are we going to use? ChatGPT. Okay, so I've typed into ChatGPT faceless content ideas for the home renovation niche on social media. I'm going to be totally honest, I actually typed in faceless content ideas for social media, and I know I'm doing this challenge on my own, but Phoebe did say, do you not think you should put in home renovation? And I thought, tell me you're a content creator without telling me you're a content creator. So Phoebe did help there. So type that in, and do you know what? It's so important to be specific, because she's so right. You have to be specific on ChatGPT. It will give you all of the answers you need if you ask it the right questions. So if you ask it one question and you really want to delve in deeper, keep asking it. Don't start a new chat. Keep asking it and keep getting dead specific with what you want to know. But remember that the dates only go up to 2021. So if you need anything specific, make sure it's correct. Faceless content ideas for the home renovation niche on social media. It's come back with before and after transformations, quick DIY tips, design inspiration, expert Q&A sessions, product reviews and recommendations, space organisation ideas, that's cool, trend spotting, room makeovers on a budget, virtual home tours, and time-lapse renovation. And it says, remember, when creating faceless content, it's important to maintain a consistent and engaging voice through text, narration, or visual elements, which I think is very clever, because we always say, as any brand or as any personal brand, you want to make sure that you have your own editing style so that people can recognise you and stand out from anyone else. But I also like that it's come back and said that you should make sure that a voice is very similar. So that might mean using the owner of any brand to do a voiceover. So if there's specific voiceovers, and I'm going to use P. Louise as an example here. When you hear P. Louise's voice, I know this is obviously in the cosmetic industry, you know it's P. Louise's brand because she has such a recognisable voice. But anyway guys, I've got so much to do. I'm going away, I'm excited. If you haven't seen episode 1 of the challenge, what are you waiting for? Go and watch episode 1. It's over an hour long. I've heard about it all week because Phoebe had to edit it. So if you've not watched it, you're not offending me, you're offending Phoebe, and she's absolutely gutted. So go and give it a watch, and I will see you next week. It will be something completely different because I'm doing this from a beach, but I'm going to show you guys that you can literally do this from anywhere.